So hello everyone, welcome to Amrita Civil Service Academy. So now I am going to present a trend analysis of the GS mains Polity. Okay, so this would be the set of questions where I would be analyzing the set of questions that came in Polity from 2013 to 2019. Okay, so based on this, we are attempting to extract certain trends or patterns which UPSC focuses. So, which would give you some of the most important topics that you need to stress when you are learning Polity, especially in this year's scenario where you have some days before prelims in order to prepare mains. So, if you know which are the most important topics, you can orient your mains preparation around those most important topics. So that is one thing. So in this question paper, I would be just explaining the trend from the question papers. So there is another video of mine which says which are the most important topics. You can kind of brainstorm from each topic in the Polity syllabus. So that is another video. I want you to complement this video with that one. So from here, you will understand the most important topics or the most important areas in the syllabus. And when you see that video, you will know which are the most important topics per se within that syllabus. Okay. So now let us start. So this is the first slide. So here I want you to focus on where? So I want you to focus on these 4 years, okay, 2016 to 2019. So my understanding is that the question setting panel has changed from 2016 onwards. So there is a, I would say after 2016, so there is a clear separation or clear change in trend in the Polity question papers. So from 2017, 18 and 19, you are seeing an increasing weightage for Polity. Until then, the highest mark in Polity was just 100. But after 2016, you could see 125, 140, 115. Just see the numbers before 2016 and after 2016. So you will know the increasing importance of Polity paper. So that is your first insight. So now we will see the syllabus. So these are the syllabuses we are looking here. So Indian Constitution and Salient Features. So I would, from here on, I would be calling this module as Indian Constitution and Salient Features. Okay. So then you have on federalism, then you have comparison, separation of powers, parliament and state legislatures, appointment to various constitutional bodies. This along with this thing, the statutory, regulatory and various quasi-judicial bodies, this would be considered together. Then you have the executive and judiciary, then salient features of RPA Act. So these are the major syllabus under Polity. So now here I have broken down, or here is a breakup of the weightage or the number of questions that came under each subsection of the Polity syllabus. Just see the first thing is the Constitution and Salient Features. Okay. So this is the first thing. So here also I want you to focus your attention on the years after 2017. So that would reveal a distinct trend. So the average mark up till 2016, and if you consider the average mark of this set after 2016, you would see its weightage has increased a bit more. Okay. So if you look at the Constitution and Salient Features is still a very important module you have to do under Polity. Let us see, we will see some of the areas or questions that come from that in a later slide. So then you have the center-state relations. So prior to 2016, it was kind of okay, but after 2016-17, there was no question at all from the area. 18 and 19, there was just one question each. So it's not a significant weightage these days. So I would say that comes a lesser important. So this would be the most important module now, Constitution and Salient Features. Second one is not that important. So if you look at the constitutional and statutory bodies, you can again see an emerging importance after 2016. So overall, for the past 3 years, they have asked around 100 marks questions from this constitutional and statutory body. So what are the kind of questions you can expect? The questions on CAG, election commission, administrative tribunals, right? These are the kind of questions that I am mentioning as part of this. So constitutional and statutory bodies would be your second most important area to focus. Legislature and executive seems pretty important. 25, 50 plus 30, 80 marks are coming from there. So that is also a really important thing. So this would be third in our line. But if you look judiciary and dispute resolution, there is not much questions from that area. So last 3 years only 25 marks. So you can give it a lesser importance. But if you look at the Elections and RPA Act, see, until 2016, it was a zero. There was no question at all from that area. So that shows a clear, distinct change in trend, right? So until 2016, there was not even a single question from RPA, but that trend changed for better with 2017, 25 plus 10, 35 plus 10, 15. 50 marks, almost for 50 mark, you have questions from that area. So that would be your fourth most important area. See, so this is how I think you should divide the polity thing now. So this would be number 1, this would be number 2, this would be number 3, and this would be number 4. Okay, so once this I think the topics under these headings should be given most important, should be seemed as the most important areas when you learn mains prior to prelims. Okay, so that is the whole idea. So once you get enough time, you have to do the entire syllabus, because in UPSC, there could always be questions from unexpected areas within the syllabus. So ideal scenario is to complete the syllabus, but since we don't have time for that until prelims, we will just focus on the most important area. So this is just the same thing shown in another kind of a graph. So coming to question paper, actually, so this is just the question paper of 2019. So you have almost, I would say almost 9 questions came from polity. So that was a kind of weightage. So at this point, I want you to focus on this column, the static and dynamic column. Okay, so here you can see that out of the 9 questions, there is just 3 dynamic questions in the whole set. Rest are all static. See, out of 9, just 3 is dynamic, 6 are static questions. So that is a recent trend that I have been witnessing in polity papers. Until 2016, polity paper was one of the most dynamic, most toughest part in the entire UPSC GS mains. But after 2016, you see there is so much of basic Lakshmikant stuff, I would say. Very simple, straightforward. The things that, the basic analysis of Indian polity that you would do in the initial classes, wherever you are going for coaching. Okay, so that is the kind of stuff that is getting asked these days. See, just to prove my point, just see the first question. It came in 2016. Do you think that Constitution of India does not accept principle of separation of powers, and it is based on the principle of checks and balance? So it's just a question that our separation of powers is not that rigid. So instead of that, we have a checks and balance scenario. So that is one question. This is kind of a bit dynamic. So if you go to the next static, so this is also a bit tough. So leave that here. So, but see this question: what can France learn from the Indian Constitution's approach to secularism? Very basic thing. Then the Parliament's power to amend the Constitution is not unlimited. Again, the basic structure doctrine question again. Then the Attorney General is the chief legal advisor and lawyer of the government of India. You don't want anything other than Lakshmikant to give a reasonably good answer for that. See, that is what I have been mentioning. There is so much importance on static these days. So it doesn't mean that you can avoid dynamic part. It just means that you have to focus equally well on the static part also. So normally we see that when it comes to polity and economy in paper 2 and 3, people focus so much on current affairs, right? So these are the 2 subjects in GS mains where there is so much emphasis on current affairs, at least when people are preparing, or at least when classes are given in coaching centers. So that has been the trend until 2016, but I am saying that has kind of changed. So just like the importance you give to dynamic parts, you have to start giving importance to the static part also. That is my conclusion from this slide. So similar thing here is the static. In 2018, the static and dynamic is kind of equal, 5, 6 and things like that. So this is all. There is nothing much you need to pick from that area. Now I am going to divide the entire paper topic wise. So here you can see all the questions on salient features of the constitution. So that is largely that first module. There could be some areas other also, but I think largely it is from the first module. So see the kind of question, basic structure and the limitation on amending power, that is from the first module. Separation of powers, this is all in 2019, we already saw. Financial emergency by president, India and USA comparison, fundamental rights in the scope of right to privacy. Then you have the GS-2, then you have each adjective attached to the word republic, so which comes from the preamble part. So these are all pretty basic stuff. So you can score really good marks if you actually do that first module really well. So I would say by the fact that these questions are from a static portion, I don't mean that you have to present your answer also with only the Lakshmikant stuff. That is not the idea I'm hinting at. You can always bring dynamism in your answer by relating it to concurrent examples and things which we could show in different videos, content specific videos. So see, there are almost 2 slides entirely devoted for that first module itself. So you have question on 1935 Act, very simple. Then Uniform Civil Code, right to clean environment, federalism with unitary bias, freedom of expression, how different is the films in our country, section 66A of IT Act. So that's all. So when you trace back till 2013, so these are the kind of questions you can expect. So similarly, I have put the other slides also from different topics, and the state relations, constitutional and statutory bodies, which I said is the second most important topic in the syllabus right now. There also you have 2 set of slides. See the questions I mentioned, right? The question on, you will have questions on tribunal, you have question on National Commission of Scheduled Caste, commissions for vulnerable sections, PEAC, the National Commission for Women, CAG again, NHRC. So this is about constitutional and statutory bodies. Then again you have Attorney General, Controller, CAG. You have 2-3 questions, I guess, over the past 6 years. Finance Commission, terms of reference of Finance Commission, then the special constitutional status of certain states. So this is kind of the, I think that last question wouldn't come under here. So it comes actually under the first part itself. So these are some of the questions you can find under the constitutional and statutory bodies. So when it comes to elections and RPA, you have questions only in past 3 years. Same is the case with judiciary and dispute resolution. Yeah, when it comes to legislature and executive, I think you have a good set of questions. Women's reservation, role of individual parliamentarian diminishing. I think they have asked this twice, 2019 and 2013, they have asked the same question. Then estimates committee, panchayat system. I think this also you have 2 questions, 17 and 18, consequently they had that question. So these are all pretty basic, I would say. So that's all I want to emphasize in this set of slides. There is not much any other kind of trend you can take from this set of slides. So from this set of slides, I want you to focus on the major topics in the syllabus. And if you complement this video with the other video which I have been mentioning, which I would make sure that the link of that video also is shared with this video, there you can see what are the topics you have to learn under that constitution and salient features. With this video, you understood that constitution and salient features is a really important area. And that video, I would be explaining what are the different topics under constitution and salient features. What are the kind of questions you can expect from preamble, the kind of questions you can expect from federalism, basic structure, and things like that. So I would say both of these should go together. So that's it for Polity. So happy learning. Thank you.